Hi everyone, my name is Britain Cline, Ad Sales Manager, and welcome to this week's edition of Marketing Minutes by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
And I'm William Cline, publisher, and if you're a dive company out there and you'd like to get on our show, reach out to Britain and I. We'd love to have you. So Britain, who do we have on today's show?
Yes, so today we have from Diving Talks Portugal, Arlindo Serrao, the founder of Diving Talks. Arlindo, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you. No, this show's considered the TED Talks of diving. So
that's right.
I'm really excited to dig into today's show and learn a little bit about it.
It's going to be a great one. But thank you again for joining us today, Arlindo. Just to kind of dive right into things, Diving Talks recently became the second most visible diving event globally online with over 365,000 YouTube views and 25,000 social visitors. How do you work with brands and retailers and training agencies to turn that visibility into maybe a more measurable ROI, especially for the B2B partners?
Good question.
Thanks.
Yeah, and counting, because we reached already 380,000 views on our YouTube channel.
Wow.
Yeah, from the beginning, it's I agree. It's a good achievement. From the beginning, we wanted everything that happens inside this room that you are showing. We want it to make it available to the entire world. So people sometimes don't have the opportunity to join in person an event like this. And above all the things that happened, the talks, the presentations that the leading divers of the world are doing there, I thought it was a crime to keep them like in a drawer, because we are, of course, recording everything. So what's the sense of doing this if after that we don't share it with the world? And we share it for free. Everybody can watch the show, watch the talks after the diving talks occurs in person, but everybody can go to the YouTube channel, Diving Talks YouTube channel, and check and listen to the talks. And I think this is going directly to your question, Britain, and that is really, really important. Sometimes a brand invests on attending a show that has a much bigger audience in person. But the truth is that, and we've figured out that when we looked at the visibility of the show online, the truth is that we have a much bigger visibility on what we record and what we share with the world than if you were on a stand and exhibiting, for example, at the show. Of course, there are some opportunities that you don't have online, and that's why we keep it like a live event. But at the same time, we believe that there's a larger contribution to the ROI, as you mentioned, because it's not only what you get during the weekend, but a lot of what you get after the weekend when we publish everything online. Right. And as you said, Britain, just to close my comments on that. And as you said, during the weekends, while the event is taking place, we have 25,000 on average. We have 25,000 people following the show on social media and following the show, of course, on the YouTube channel, because we screen and we exhibit everything online. Of course, during the weekend, if you want to attend the talks, you have to buy the online ticket, but everything else we are showing to the public, as all the work that we do, all the discussions that we engage with the sponsors, the brands that are there. So as I was explaining, the visibility is much bigger than the in-person attendance.
Wow, that's incredible.
You know, it really is, because you have a whole bunch of different formats that they actually offer. You have a lightning talks we introduced last year, and I know they're back again this year. Can you talk to us a little about the different kinds of formats that you offer in terms of speaking, and maybe what types of formats have the best engagement for different types of products? And then also, there's something new this year called the Pac-Man Rule, which I can't wait to find out about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I believe that Britain relates more with the Pac-Man Rule than we do. But
there you go.
No, yeah. First, yeah. No, the thing is that we always try to innovate, to be innovative in the way that we allow the speakers to present. And the first thing that we wanted to be different, and that I believe that's also one of the reasons why people started to say that Diving Talks is the TED Talks of diving, is that we've cut the slots, the presentation slots, to a 20-minute slot. So this means that the speaker has to be very concise, synthetic, and that gives a dynamic, gives a rhythm to the presentation that is different than when you have a 1 hour presentation that sometimes it becomes a little bit boring. But anyway, we decided to do it short and concise, so it's a more impactful way of sharing your message. And last year it was something for the fun of it. We launched the Lightning Talks, and the Lightning Talk is a 4-minute slot. So this means that you have 4 minutes to share your message. Because it was the inaugural Lightning Talks, I asked Phil Short and Garrett Locke to do those 2 presentations, and they said, "Oh, Arlindo, you are a crazy guy, but okay, we will do it." And it worked fine. And it's public, as I told you before. You can go to the YouTube channel, to the Diving Talks YouTube channel, and you can check them there. So the idea in terms of presentations is to do things in a different and more impactful and engaging way. One of the strengths of the Diving Talks is the networking that it promotes, and it's something that it's not what I think. We interview on a series that we have called Throwback Thursday, and we interview the speakers that were on the last edition, and we ask them questions. What did they like best? What they found interesting, different? And one of the things that comes up on those interviews is that the networking that Diving Talks promotes is a strength of the show, because the speakers have to be at the venue from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. So we don't have that formula of the VIP speaker or the star that comes in, does the presentation and goes away. No, the speakers arrive to the show on Friday around lunchtime, and then they stay until the end and they attend all the talks. So this promotes networking and connects the audience, the divers, the brands, everybody, the guests, the journalists, everybody that is there, promotes the strong networking effect, the results on a strong networking effect. And the Pac-Man rule comes exactly for, I'm sure that at least Britain remembers the game. The
Right.
Pac-Man was like that circle,
Yes.
waka, you know. So if the Pac-Man is static, he has an open mouth. So it's like a pie without a slice. So the Pac-Man rule is that when you are on a conversation, you tend to do a circle, and people are around on that circle and are discussing something. But if you are someone that wants to get inside that conversation, if there's not an open space there, it's much harder for you to get into that conversation. Though the Pac-Man rule means that when you have this circle thing on the show and you are having a conversation, you have to leave a place. There's always has to be an opening space for someone that wants to join. So that's the Pac-Man rule that we are launching this year at the 5th edition of the Diving Talks. In terms of different formats for brands, we offer brands 2 models of sponsoring and being present and visible at the show. So you have the in-person model, and this means that you can have like a booth, like you have on DIMA, for example. They can have a booth there, and they can use the booth, of course, to showcase their products. Or you can use the virtual attendance model. And this means that all the promotion of the brand relates first to content, and this, of course, gains a bigger visibility online. Let me give you an example. Imagine that we have a photographer coming, and this year, as you've shown already on what we are seeing here on the screen, Alex Dawson is joining the show, and Alex Dawson is a very well-known and respected photographer, underwater photographer. let's suppose that, and it's not a supposition, it's like this. Alex Dawson dives with Dive Soft. He dives with a rebreather, which is the rebreather Dive Soft. So we give Dive Soft the option of co-branding the talk. This means that the huge LED display that we use for the speakers to their presentations, it will have always the Dive Soft brand on the side of what Alex is showing. So this means that while people are watching the show, they are watching also the messages from DiveSoft that are being screened at the same time. And also this year we've introduced a new, let's say, option, and that option is that the brand can have a 20-second video that is shown before the speaker starts the talk, because we have this how can I say this? We have this tradition that we launched with the first edition that is the selfie. So the speaker takes a selfie that we use then for social media, takes a selfie with the audience, with the attendants on the background. Okay. So while the speaker is doing this, what you have on the screen that is being recorded and shown online is the video of DiveSoft. So this is again another way of giving more visibility for posterity for every brand that sponsors the show. Of course, you can combine these two things. The best opportunity for me is having DiveSoft there. It's having, or another brand. I'm talking about DiveSoft. It could be another one, and then you are there and you can engage in the conversations that will happen because we were watching a presentation from someone that is doing some kind of work in the water, and the attendants can ask him, but why do you dive with this gear? Why do you use that case? Why did you opt for these brands? And listening to someone that is a very hardcore diver or hardcore underwater photographer, whatever, it's important for us to understand what are the features, what are the advantages of using equipment A and not equipment B or C, and that is something that we offer both live on the show floor, but then we will share it online, which gives more visibility to the brands that are with us.
So I think he answered our brand question
Right.
because that's a lot of opportunities for brands to be showcased there.
Yeah, increase their visibility as well.
Exactly. And thank you for that detailed explanation. Diving Talks has positioned itself as Europe's fastest growing platform.
That's right.
We have been investing heavily in the digital content side. You already mentioned that almost 400,000 views on YouTube. Where do you see this event as heading in terms of B2B expansion? And do you have initiatives planned like business matchmaking events or business only tracks or deeper collaboration with dive manufacturers and sales reps, things like that? Talk to us a little about the future of Diving Talks.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because that's our concern is always, as I was saying before, to give more advantages, more return on the investment that brands do when they decide to sponsor the show and be there. So there's one opportunity also that we offer to brands, but this is an example. We have on the 16th of October, so this year Diving Talks is in Lisbon, as you know, Portugal, and it's from October 17 to 19. So on the 16th, we have what we call Brands Day. So although during the talks we have long periods of time when people can engage with the brands on discussions and visiting the stands and being there with them, and this time we've doubled the time that we are not using for talks because we want to give more face time to brands promoting the show. But this Friday is totally dedicated to brands. So you don't have any talks happening. What you have the whole afternoon for you to invite your clients, to invite people to join the show floor, and for example, to come and attend a workshop about this new product that I'm launching. I give you an example. The agencies, the training agencies that support the show, they use this Friday afternoon to have meetings, for example, member updates with their members. Paddy, for example, did this not last year, but 2 years ago. They they scheduled a members update for this Friday to be there with their Portuguese members. So Friday, the Brands Day, it's a way of giving more power to the B2B connections also. And another thing that we also are doing is that the day before, so October 16th, we have what we call the naval base side event. So the diving talks is supported by the Portuguese Navy. So what we do is, if you are a brand sponsoring the diving talks, and if you have a military line, you can attend this military side event at the naval base.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it is. And this year, I'm very happy because this side event has been growing throughout the years, and this year it's the first time that we're having other NATO naval NATO navies.
Wow.
So this year the Portuguese Navy is inviting, for example, the Swedish Navy, the Spanish Navy, the Dutch Navy. I believe that there were 4 NATO navies that said that were interested in attending the side event, so they are coming.
Wow.
And this is very important because we ask the speakers that come to the diving talks and can have something that is interesting to share with the military organizations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ask them to come early so they can stay there on the 16th, and then we connect also the brands that sponsor the show, and we have this. It's like, diving talks is much more than a dive show or dive event. It's like an ecosystem, and we also added the naval, the military sides or the military layer that increases the interest for the brands that support the show.
No, it makes great
Absolutely.
sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible branching all the way out to military, and it's really creating this, like you said, ecosystem, and experience. How special. That's so cool.
Speaking of ecosystem, we've been watching the slides that have been going through of your speakers, and
incredible.
Catherine Castle is one of our regular writers. Guy has been featured as the cover artist on our magazine. Peter Simons writes every single month for us. A delightful article series on diving in Europe, which most people don't realize there's great diving in Europe, Mediterranean, and so on. So we have so many close connections between our magazine writers and your show. So thank you, Arlindo, for coming on. Go to portugaldive.com or Diving Talks.
That's right.
And look up the information if you'd like to attend a show. It sounds like a fascinating opportunity for this October. Arlindo, are you going to be at the DEMA show this fall?
Yeah, I will. I will. And I hope to be there with you in person too. Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
we are going to be doing a live from the DEMA show every day. And so come by our booth, or we'll come by your booth and get a quick little video update. And that'll be kind of fun to see you in DEMA. It's only 110 days away.
That's right.
Hard to believe. Wow. So, Britain, who do we have for our next guest on the next installment of this show?
That's right. So our next show's guest is going to be David Burrows, sales manager for Hewish Outdoors. And if I can recall correctly, I think he's an old friend of yours.
He is. We go way back to Bahamas days.
That's right.
And then who's our next guest for our new series that we've just launched? Last week was our very first episode, a retailer to retailer show.
That's right. From behind the counter, we have our great friend, Jeff Sincerpino, the former owner of Scuba Shack, talking about his sale of his store. So stay tuned for that. Should be a fantastic show.
That should be great. Arlindo, any last closing words you'd like to say?
I would like to have you both on the show,
Absolutely.
So if you have time, if you have a free time to join us, you will have a fantastic weekend. Not the show only, the food, the wine. Our red wine is incredible. So I would like very much to have you here too. So think about it.
Thank you for that invitation. And that's going to do it for our show today. Remember, you can watch all these episodes on our website, scubadivingindustry.com. Right. All the back issues of our magazines are on there. Our next issue is coming out on the 30th. Thanks again. And from Portugal and from Marketing Minutes, Dallas, Texas. Goodbye, everybody.